Group 2, please. Marie Cosgrove, Lauren Williams, table 8, please.
Good evening and welcome back to the action. This is a quarter-final match, and what a match it is. This is Neil Raybone at the table, and he is playing Tom Cousins. And I'm joined on commentary by Sean Chipperfield. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are we?
Yeah, very good, thanks. I'm really looking forward to this game, actually. It's a tasty lineup, isn't it? It's Neil, obviously. I'm about to big him up.
Yeah.
Misses a yellow, but I was about to say Neil obviously was for a couple of years running the IPA #1 player. I think he's been taken over now by Liam Dunster, but what a player he is. And obviously we all know Tom Cousins. We've seen him on stream a couple of times this weekend, the 2 times world champion, and this should be a great game. Tom really has been playing well over this weekend.
Yeah, I've not actually seen any of his games yet. Obviously I share with him. He said he's playing quite well, so that's good to hear. I think he's just beaten Neil in the other event, so he'll probably
4-0.
fancy his chances. 4-0 was it?
Yeah.
Well, first to 5, wasn't it? Or was it he won the earlier rounds? It may have been a delayed game from earlier because he.
I think it was, yeah. Well, I say it. I'm certain it was 4-0, but.
Oh, he won 5-0.
Was it 5-0?
Yeah.
God.
So Neil played a good shot at the start of this frame, just to develop that yellow over the bottom right corner, but missing that easy yellow has just now meant that Tom's covered that bag.
It's crazy because of the scheduling that actually we've still got round 2 matches going on in the Jason Owen Open, while round 3 matches, most of the round 3 matches have already finished. I mean, it's crazy because there's so many, there's players in both events, so many. It's just difficult to schedule.
Yeah, it's always going to happen, isn't it?
Christian Disney, who was in the last 16, he's still in round 3. He's 3-0 up against Josh Gooderham. And of course, at the same time as the Jason Owen Open's happening, we've got the last 16 games. But that's also... Sorry, the last 16 games have finished. The quarter-final matches, one of the quarter-final matches is already complete. Craig Lakin's beaten Jake McCartney, so he's in the semi-final. Stevie Dempsey, Sean Story, well, they're both still involved in the Jason Owen in their respective games. So we've got Arthur and Dad against Ben Flack, and obviously the match that we see before us. Race to 7.
So is this main event scheduled to be finished tonight?
Yes. I mean, the last 3 events, it's been scheduled to finish tonight, but it never has.
Right.
They've always postponed it until kind of lunchtime tomorrow. It really depends on what point we get to. If we can get to the point of a final by kind of realistically 11 o'clock, then I think play it tonight. But I don't think anyone wants to be starting the game at midnight and be here at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Definitely.
The guys at home probably don't want to be watching it at 2 o'clock in the morning either. I know I certainly don't want to be here.
Yeah, so Neil's just going to try and nudge that black towards the bottom left-hand corner. Because the black ball is basically Tom's ball because of where the red is bottom right. So you may see him just pot the yellow over the hole with the black, leave the black over the hole, and give Neil 2 shots. But having said that, if he can get that ball out bottom right fairly comfortably, then it's a bit of a risky shot. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about this.
Yeah. My first instinct was I like that shot, just to pot the black onto the yellow. But the problem is Neil's only got that 1 ball tied up, and with 2 visits, you fancy him to get it out and clear up, don't you? So
yeah, well, obviously that will then tie up the yellow near the bottom left anyway. So that would be 2 balls tied up, 1 really tied up and 1 very awkward. So, but it's probably not worth.
I was going to say, I wonder if he'll try and get it out.
Shot.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder if he did have an angle on the one over the middle, and I wondered if he was going to try and pump the black out. That really is nice.
There's obviously a gap there to pot this red bottom right, but I don't think he's going to go for these because I'm not sure he can get the white out enough so the clearance is simple.
Yeah.
But he's coming round, so
it's one of those that he's so in control of the frame. He doesn't need to pull the trigger if he doesn't want to. If he thinks he's 80% to take the frame from here, he'll probably pull the trigger. But if he's only 60, then it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, just got to weigh your options up. You don't want to get bogged down into too much safety, so you may see him go for the clearance. He's going to take the plant first and just... Yeah, see, he won't go for these now, I don't think, because he's certainly not going to leave that ball to last. So if he's going to play it, he's got to play it now. But obviously where that red's just gone, it makes the clearance a lot harder, so you may just see him roll this up the cushion. But this is the first game I've commentated on since the first round. So the standard would have improved over the rounds, and people would have got used to this table. So I'm guessing there hasn't been as much safety battles on this table since the first earlier round.
A few today, a few. Yeah, I mean, first up this morning was Carl Morris, but you kind of know what you're going to get there, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that Carl's going to, especially as Jake McCartney ran out to a 3-0 lead, so then Carl had to try and slow it down, and there was a couple of sort of half an hour frames. But you're right. I mean, there's not been a whole bunch. There's been a few. You don't really anticipate too much in the way of tactical frames between these two either, do you?
No, definitely not. Sometimes the way the ball's split just... They dictate the way the game goes, so... I think Neil might try and play the red onto yellow onto red here and try and get the red absolutely frozen to the yellow. If he gets that, then he's got half a chance. But again, any sort of edge sticking out, anything off the bottom cushion to flick it out, didn't want both them in. Now he's in a lot of bother.
Playing himself into a bit of a pickle here,
I'm
isn't
not
he?
totally sure what he's trying to do. I assume there's a gap underneath the yellow to pot the red over the corner.
Yeah,
It's,
over.
it's tight. You've got to be in the right position for it. So, but I'm pretty sure the white goes under there.
Yeah, that is tight.
So, but Tom's 98% favourite this frame in my eyes. So he knows he's going to come back to the table and he can just dictate what he wants to do. So all Tom will do is just bounce this red off, get it in the open, and you know what's Neil going to do?
Yeah, I think Neil probably already knows the writings on the wall in this frame. He'll have played enough world rules to know when his back's against the wall.
I literally cannot see a shot that Neil can play. He's probably going to try and roll the red on top of the yellow now, because that is the only hope he's got of Tom messing up a finish.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even any value in doubling the black up and down and putting it on top of the yellow, is there? Because Tom's got two and can carry the two to the black.
Well, there's no control of that shot. At least he's
No.
got a little bit of control with the red because of how close he is. Obviously, if he was dead straight on it, he could pick where he wanted to sit the red on top of the yellow. But it looks like wherever he puts it, there's going to be Tom will be able to get it out.
He is looking at the black.
Yeah. So he wanted to be a bit straighter just to have more control over it, but it's all about playing this dead weight and sticking on top of the yellow.
Yeah.
So the yellow would be a plant. It's not bad, but that's still not good enough because Tom will just carry his twos to the black.
Yeah.
Set it up.
Yeah, he can just push the black into the gap of the cushion and the yellow, and it's just going to push the yellow to one side and open the pocket up.
Yeah. And if he lands on the bottom cushion here, he can just double it
Or
across.
he can just double it across,
So-
yeah. Yeah.
However, he's still got to get on this ball nicely at the bottom because he could play it now, but it is missable. Not that you'd expect him to miss it, but if he does wobble it, then he'll only be carrying the one. So he'll probably play the plant and then try and get better on it. Play into an area where if you overhit it, you'll be on it to the middle. So just a bit of bottom left-hand side just to swing it down, and he's just it perfectly. So.
Do you think he doubles that out, or do you think he just
No, I think
plays
he'll
it into that,
Just run the white
into that
through.
gap?
Probably run the white through because you want to cut the black to the cushion so the white comes
Yeah.
out. You don't want to be straight on the black.
Yeah.
Just run through a ball or two widths. Yeah.
It's the only risk here is potentially a double kiss, but it shouldn't be on.
Yeah. Just make sure you hit side cushion first. He's
Yeah, that's
just done that. So the inevitable happened in the end.
Yeah. So Tom Cousins wins the first frame. So in the other match that's ongoing, Ben Flack leading off and Dad 3-2. Oh dear. Shoulder slumped as soon as the cue ball hit the front and started to run back towards the pocket. He knew what was coming. And ball in hand, one visit to Neil, and should really be all he needs. I mean, yellows.
Yeah, yellows as a ball, I suppose.
Ball.
Black's a little bit awkward as well.
Yeah.
So they're no gimmies, because the yellow doesn't go bottom right either by the looks of things.
Yes.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not a.
It's
not
a bit
nice
awkward
one.
actually, because as you say, the yellow doesn't go on the right hand side. It doesn't go to the bottom right. It obviously goes to the middles, but how do you then
And where
find that transition?
and those two reds to the left of the black are just
Causing a problem, yeah, they're right in
massive
the way.
problem. But yellows are definitely the ball.
So
That'll be a good clearance if you can get them.
I think he's going to try and land on that one to the right hand side now. He's come over the other side.
He's going to play a cannon onto the red, lowest of the two. So he's going to leave the white where the red is, and that'll give him perfect position on probably the left hand of the two yellows. And then he'll try and figure out a way of probably nudging the black or.
If he kisses the red aside, he probably wouldn't need to move the black, would he? Because I think it would then go. I think it now goes to. Well, I was going to say it now goes to both pockets, but I think he can find the potting angle certainly now to the left, so he could use the one on the right hand side as his last ball.
Yeah, I didn't realise the black went to the bottom left either.
Yeah.
But it looks from the overhead like it maybe does.
Yeah.
So, but then again, that yellow on the furthest up the table is still awkward because you need to be low on the black. You can't be high on it. So
and he's just got the wrong angle here as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just caught the cannon a bit low. So, yeah, this isn't easy.
But
Because he kind of has to play for the yellow he's nearest now after this one. Because you don't want to go up, well, he can't go up the table because the yellow doesn't go anywhere. The one in near the black.
Can he get enough check into the ball to sort of check across and come across into the black? Don't think he can he?
No, that shot isn't on. I don't really think he's got a shot on, to be honest. He's looking at leaving the gap there for the thin one, but then he's got no control of the white. But that might be his only shot, and he'd probably leave that angle to then try and play a full ball cannon with left hand side onto one of the two reds on the right hand side for the other yellow. That's probably what he's thinking. And now he's looking at coming around the angles. If he plays this with right hand side, just miss the jaws of the pocket and come back down the left hand side of the table and play the yellow at the bottom of the table to the right corner. I wonder if that's what he's looking at.
Yeah.
He is. He's played it brilliantly. Oh, I thought he played it brilliantly. Just caught the jaw. That would have been close. But he's got that shot he was looking at first.
Yes.
Just
yeah.
a lot further away than me.
Found the gap.
Yeah. So, chasing this finish.
Trouble is the cue ball's going to be running, isn't it? So he probably is going to have to play into the two reds, and then he's trusting the luck a little bit about whether he actually has a shot on the last yellow.
I think you might play it so he runs into the yellow. The plain ball shot looks like he's running into the yellow.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's probably going to do that and try and push it towards the corner pocket.
Putting a touch of
Touch of right hand side. Yeah, probably needs a touch. He's just potted it too. Well, he's potted it.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's just out of position. Don't think it doubles either. So he may come top cushion, try and cut the yellow in, and then he'll be on the black. So he's got a shot.
Yeah, kind of. That red almost acts as a guide as well, doesn't it? The one that he knows he just needs to miss it.
Just while we're here, I'll give a shout out to Carl O'Donoghue. He dropped me a message saying, "For goodness sake, I have to listen to you now."
It's all right, mate.
But I think he's joking.
You're not the only one. He's been abusing me today as well. So yeah.
He said, "I love listening to the commentary. Got a bottle of red, listening to you two.
Yeah.
What can be better?" On a Saturday night.
Bottle of red what? Bottle of red diesel, knowing him.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, brilliant.
Very, very good. But what we said earlier about being high on the black, is he on it?
Yes, he is. Yeah,
He is on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just on it. May flick a bit of right hand side just to make sure.
He's looking at it a few times. My first instinct was that he was most certainly on it, but as you say, you may see him cue the right hand side of the ball. His right, yeah, he is too. Bit of right hand side, just to throw it.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Yeah,
I think it was a lot tighter than what we thought.
Yeah, played it at a good pace too, just to give it every chance to drop. Any harder?
If it wasn't that tight, he'd have played it a bit firmer with just a bit of right hand side. But because he obviously played a little bit of a swerve, so he obviously needed it. So yeah, good shot. Oh.
So Neil Raybone breaks off in frame number 3. He loses the cue ball, a grimace, because he knows it's key to hold.
Is he asking for a foul break? I didn't see the break. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about because there's not much else to talk about.
No. What's the rule? 3?
I think it's 3 cushions. You have to hit 3 cushions.
Don't know if did we actually?
I'll just watch it back.
Yeah, just watch it back on YouTube and.
Oh, it was a monster break, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, that's a question.
Yeah, so I think Tom was asking the question about balls past the middle line, but that's not in these rules. I think it's hitting the cushions in these rules, but I've just watched the break back and there must have been 6 or 7 gone up the table, so nothing wrong with that break.
Ben Flack now leading Arfindad 4 frames to 3. It's a close game.
So, tricky little finish here on yellows. I don't know if that yellow goes top left that he's nearest. Doesn't look like it from there. So he's going to need to give it a nudge somewhere. But because of where these other 3 balls are, he's got to play little nudges on them as well. So, be interesting to see how he goes about this. He's going to screw off the yellow and into the red. Just like that. Doesn't want it to sit in front of the yellow. That's made it a lot more difficult now. So he's played a good shot because moving the red meant that yellow that we were talking about goes bottom right. But because of where the yellow's now bounced off the cushion, that's ruined those 2 yellows. So a little bit unlucky.
My God, it's warm here tonight.
Tell me about it. I was sweating my cojones off earlier. That's my excuse anyway, to losing.
Not what you planned, but
No, he just wanted to go into that area just to try and nudge either the loose yellow or even the 2 yellows just into a better position. But
still got a shot though.
he's got a pot on, yeah. And he'll then have another tricky shot probably into the right middle. Oh, he's playing the thin one now into the right middle. So this, if this goes in, this will be a great shot. Great shot.
Oh, it's just,
does that dive in? That
just
looked like
seemed
that dive
to,
down.
just seemed to,
A great camera angle.
yeah. I don't know if it did. I think it was always just towards that knuckle. The problem is they have to be perfect, don't they?
Yes.
Trouble is, it's got a fair nap on it, and any kind of finger mark, and that is going to just take it offline. What's the verdict?
Yeah, it was slightly near draw. I think it did pull in a little bit. So, the one obvious difficult ball is the one on the right-hand rail. It's probably going to play it last for the black. If this goes in, yeah. In fact, he'll play it second last and then play the red to the opposite middle last. So he'll just run through on this. Leave himself straight on the red to the top middle as you look now. And ball down the rail and ball left mid, this bottom middle for the black. Well, it's just a funny angle actually on the one top left. Because running through, you're probably going to be near the jaws of the pocket, so you may have to come back instead. No, he's playing the run through, so he's just got enough angle to run it out. Yeah, good shot. Now with these, you want to be as straight as possible on these to make the pot as easy as possible.
Needs to
Just
nail
makes
this.
yeah, where he is now, it just makes it missable. If he could have ran through to where the middle pocket is, say,
Yep.
it's nearly impossible to miss. But
Definitely not playing as generous as it has been, so he needs to get this spot on. Any kind of any movement away from the cushion, this is going to rattle. Good thing is for him, he can play it at pocket weight, so gives
nice
it
shot.
every chance.
Yeah.
Always a little bit easier when you don't have to do anything with the cue ball. You can just focus 100% on the pot and just give it every chance. Is when you got to play them a little bit firmer, they make it a bit harder. But he takes the lead, 2 frames to 1 ahead. And Tom's going to be breaking in frame number 4. As always, a thanks to all of our sponsors. You'll see them on screen. You'll also see them around the arena. Of course, the title sponsor is Jason Owen for the Jason Owen Open, and all of the clubs scattered around the country who do all of the sponsorship and make this stream and this event possible, and also to onboard for all of the shirts that the players wear, which look fabulous.
Just going back to that break that Neil done, I've just had a message saying a red went down on the break, which means there's no foul break if a ball goes down.
Oh, was there a red in as well?
Yeah, if nothing else hits the cushion.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realise that. I still thought you had to kind of score like 3 or 4 points. But that's Dom Cooney messaged me that, so I trust his judgment. He loves the game, old Dom.
What a break this was, by the way. Absolutely crunched. And he's going to have to take reds, and there is that problem ball on the left-hand side.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he'll be doubling it, but
trying to leave an angle off this one to middle. I think he's okay. It looks like he can stand down. Just needs to be a little bit careful. Not absolutely guaranteed to be on the next ball, but
I don't think he's going to go into it here, because it's just he could easily push it on top of the yellow.
Yeah.
So it's one of them cannons where anything.
Could he cannon the yellow? Come down into the gap and cannon the yellow out rather than the red? Is that an option?
Yeah, it's not a great option. That's one of them where the only ball you want to get that out off is the one at the bottom of the table.
Right.
You want to be low on it just to go between the gap of the yellow and red and just kick it out in the middle of the table. You don't want to be going into it towards the corner pocket.
See the ladies' event going on in the background. You could see.
I'm pretty sure Tom meant to come over a bit further to be straighter on this. So although he's got the angle to go into it, he won't, as you can see there. So has he just overdone that for the red to middle?
Yeah, maybe.
If he has, he'll play the double now, but I still think he's going to play the kick out, possibly last shot, because the move off the bottom red is so easy. It's easy to control, so that might be his last shot. Because you always hear about how you want to get balls out as soon as possible, but sometimes there's situations where it's more beneficial to get it out last.
Yeah.
See the angle he's got here, he's got to force it over now, which makes the cannon a lot harder. So he obviously played for it, because he'd have been nowhere on that red that he's nearest. So he's just got to kind of force this over. Make sure you go into the cushion first. See, and he's lost the white, so he's going to be leaving a double last ball. But he knew that anyway, so he knew if he didn't get the cannon, worst case scenario, double.
Yep. Not a formality, the double either, is it? When they're this low down, you prefer them to be a little bit higher.
Yeah, I fancy Tom to make doubles. He's a good doubler and treble of the ball especially. He loves a treble.
Yeah, he played a treble in the last match he played. I thought he was going to go for a double.
He just sees the line better. I get what he means as well. He just sees the line better. Because when you're kind of doubling the ball back to where your eyes are.
Yeah.
You know, where your eyes are on the cushion, so...
Almost a straight double, maybe one that you just have to punch a bit, just a tiny punch, just to straighten it up a fraction. And, yeah, nice, well played. That was good. And now back level pegging, 2 frames apiece. We'll go back to where we were with the, mentioning the sponsors. definitely didn't catch that pack as he meant to. Cue ball squirted immediately off to the right hand side of the table and ended up below the middle pocket, which shows just how much he mistimed that. Hit substantially over towards the side of the ball. Almost ended up like a cut break. Don't need it.
He's looking at playing the plant first shot on the red. Because this is his awkward red. If this goes in, the balls will be there. So after this ball in the left middle, he's got to make sure his last ball, the white, is pretty much on the bulk line, just to drop down for the black. He's just gone a bit too far because he wants to screw back. And he may be going close to the red if he's playing the screw. So he may have to screw it on and off the cushion. He was just straight enough, but he hasn't gone back far enough, so you may see him play the cross double here, to be honest. Because looking at that angle from the overhead, it's going to be a lot of top left-hand side, and it might not even make it to the black spot, so he may only have a cross double stun down for the black. The double kiss isn't on, so you can see how disappointed he is.
Big frame as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Just needs to hold his serve.
Just looking at the double now. It's one of them where you've got to hit it fairly firm to get the white down, which means the double kiss is more on. If you play it slow, you don't get a double kiss here, but because he's got to screw it out as well. But I'm pretty sure he'll just... Yeah, he's good.
Played it well. Nip and tuck match. It's swinging either way. And it's Neil Raybone that takes the lead again at 3-2. Again, Tom Cousins will be breaking in the next frame. It's still on serve.
Tired, Nick? Long day?
Yeah, what's done me is the food I ate. I feel comatose now. It was lovely, but goodness me.
2,000 calories in one sitting.
Yeah.
It's never a good idea.
No. A lot of dough.
I know you got a lot of dough. Wish I had your money. Cars, house. Although I have got hair, which is one good thing.
That's true. Swap it all for a hairline.
Even though it is going a bit grey in my old age. Yeah, not a good split that. No explosion right out of the pack. You can just tell a second after he's hit them it was going to be a dry break. And the reds have, well, both sets have come out quite nice. My first thought was reds, but
Yeah.
may even be yellows, to be
Yeah,
honest.
my initial feeling was yellow, but I think you can definitely make a case for either.
Right, next match on table 2, the last quarter-final, Steve Dempsey, Short Story, table 2.
There we go, the final quarter-final's just gone on, so they're trying to catch up.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. That's just going to be across on table 2 to the left-hand side of the arena table.
Ben Flack is having a run this weekend. 6-3 up on Alf and Dad, so he's looking good for the semis. Obviously having a good weekend, playing well. Very solid player, Ben is. So he has gone yellows, so you may see him clear these bottom 3 first. And then go left, middle, top left for the black. So
Yeah.
the one that you'd think he'd want to get rid of would actually be a pretty comfortable last ball for the black. So let's see if he goes that way. Obviously, it's all down to cue ball and where he's landed there.
Just let that one go slightly.
Yeah, he can't do nothing with the white, which means he's not going to be straight enough on the yellow that he's nearest. So
It just felt like he just let the cue ball go a bit. It was almost as if he needed to just drag it just to kill it a bit.
yeah, it looked like he needed a bit of left-hand side just to
Yeah,
straighten it up.
yeah.
But he sort of played it plain ball. So he's now having to have a reroute again. He's missed that.
Never there, top knuckle.
At this level, you can't afford to miss those clearances, really.
Yeah.
But let's see if he gets away with it.
And it all came just from that one slight positional error where if he could have taken the 3 balls at the bottom of the table first, then he, I think, was pretty much nailed on for the frame, to be honest. It's that moment where he's had to reroute that may well cost him.
So it looks like that missed yellow is going to cost him the frame. A 4-2 lead and breaking would have been... Is it his break? Or did Tom break first? Can't remember. But a 4-2 lead would have been handy. That is Neil's break as well, so 3 each.
Yeah, that missed opportunity for a break of serve after Tom's dry break. So missed opportunity, as we said, it's those small moments that will make the difference in the match.
Good break. You see the cluster just exploded there. Excuse me. The pack just exploded out. Whereas Tom's break before, they just stuck. You could just tell that that was going to be dry, whereas this one, balls were threatening all the pockets, so good break.
Like yellows.
Yeah.
Yellows look good, don't they? It's
I think either set might be alright. I think both them reds in the middle may go in the middle.
yeah, I was just thinking the same actually. It was about whether the
one closest to the yellow.
yeah, whether that passed, but you're right, it does. It definitely goes to
You may even play this off the yellow if there's enough gap there. So just to make sure. Just like that, although that's just... Yeah, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. Just going to have a look at that one to the right middle, just to see when's best to play that, because that's the one ball which is a little bit tricky, but you'll get these 99 times out of 100.
shows how the momentum of the game can change, though, doesn't it? I mean, okay, Neil's going about this clearance, but had he just that one positional error in the last one cost him the frame, and he could have been clearing these now for 5 frames to 2, and that would have been a massive advantage.
But at the same time, he'd have forgotten about that now, because he's been given an opportunity, and if he takes it, which it looks like he is, he's in the lead, so that's all we can ask for.
Yep.
So it looks like he's going to play the one to middle now, but he's got to just screw it in with a bit of side. So he's playing a plain ball, just leaving a high red. It's fair enough.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sure of the red, and take your medicine. He's going to back himself to pop this 10 out of 10. So
I never like to leave the object ball going in dead weight. I like to make sure it's got some pace towards the pocket. So I'd have played that a bit different, but each to their own. You can see the white has just run up the table quite a bit there, so he did leave that quite thin.
You'd have played it as a little stun with a trace of
a little bit of bottom right, just to get down to the bottom cushion and stun up for the black.
Yeah.
But then I've always preferred to play bottom anyway. Some people prefer to play top. You know, I seem to find the angles better playing bottom. I think everyone has their preference.
Bit of an ugly table.
Yeah. Missed the first couple of shots. I don't know what's... I'm guessing Tom's at the table on reds.
Yeah.
He might be yellows, actually.
The graphic says he's on reds, but not suggesting for a second that Paul's got it right. Don't know. He's just changed it now.
It serves us right for not looking at the break.
He doesn't know either.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know.
You don't know. No, I think he might
We
be.
were all looking away for a second.
I think he's yellows. I think
So,
because
all the guys that are at home know. That's all that really matters.
yeah, he's yellows.
What an opening shot.
Yeah, great little nudge. That's helped his cause. And he did come round with his cue and look at that line, so
Yeah.
I think he's played that exactly how he wanted it. Still, the clearance is tricky. But if he doesn't go for him, then he's actually opened that red up a little bit for Neil. So whether that red goes to both corners, if it does, then that's... Tom's got a bit to think about, so... That's exactly what he's going to do, stand in the way of the camera and think about it.
He fills a camera shot with those shoulders as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's broad, isn't he?
That's one way of putting it.
I'm not a harsh critic like you, Nick.
It's not often you see Tom take this long over a shot, but it really is a bit of a conundrum because...
Yeah, because them two yellows at the bottom, they're not an easy plant from right to left. If you get the other side, it's a lot easier, but it works all to the right-hand side, so his shot here, because he's not going to play the one bottom right because he's going away from the 2 yellows. So he's looking at playing the yellow to the middle, but he doesn't like it either because it's a tricky pot.
Mm.
And as I said earlier about the red, if the red goes to both corners, then Neil's got quite a nice finish on. So that shot we said was a really good shot. It may have turned out to be not beneficial to him.
I think he's
It's all
looking
on this shot.
looking at everything there. I think he was even looking at going cushion first into the back of the yellow,
Yeah,
but ultimately he's just going to play it safety.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be what he was going to play. Got a little double kiss, so that's okay. It's not touching balls, so he's got to hit a red. I'm going to have to go after this frame, I think, because I'm on in 10 minutes. So I've got to go back up to the room and get changed.
Yeah.
Come back down. So we'll see how this pans out in the next couple of shots.
Who are you playing, do you know?
Dylan Leary.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Another tough game. They seem to follow me everywhere.
Fellow ultimate pool professional.
Yep.
Done me out of 2 bets recently. I was waiting for Phil Harrison in a 5-fold last weekend, and Dylan beat him. And I was waiting for Dylan in an 8-fold yesterday, and he lost the decider.
Dan Bishop, was it Dan Bishop?
Dan Bishop, yeah. Pulled out a miracle finish, apparently.
Bookies never lose.
No. It's only really just fun bets to have a bit of interest in the
Yeah, that's how it should
in
be.
the game.
Did he play that double? He must have done.
Yeah. If that had dropped, that was a golden chance. Well,
Yeah,
frame over.
That
But
would have been, yeah.
back on to Tom, and his chance is now his.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky though because he's probably going to have to play those 2 reds, 2 yellows. I always say reds. I'm thinking about snooker. Play them 2 yellows on the bottom cushion, like singly, not as a plant. So he's going to be high on the one to the bottom corner as we look now. So just screw out. But that means he's got to get back down the table to get on the other one, and then he's completely mugged me off and played the cannon and landed straight on the one to middle, and probably got a nice run out. Yeah, it all depends what angle he leaves on the one to the top. So you might see him play a bit of a flare shot here. Loads of stunning left-hand side, round off 3 or 4 cushions, down for a choice of 2 yellows. Because I don't think he can. Yeah, he's going to play that shot. I don't think he can screw this with right-hand side. So it's going to be a lot of left and middle. Centre of the ball, left. There we go. Round off 3.
Great
and
shot.
3 cushions.
So essentially, the left-hand side kind of reverses it off of the first cushion, doesn't it? And,
Yeah,
and then turns into running side around the cushions.
But going that line, you see, he's got such a big area to land in. But obviously, you've got to be a good player to see that, probably play that shot, and you've got to have it in your armoury. So not everyone has.
No.
Obviously, Tom has, and that's why I called it straight away, because I knew he'd play it. And that's a nice little nudge on the red. And the black will just drop in the middle, as you can see from that angle. So that would be 4. What's the score?
This is for 4 all.
4 all. Just okay. Right, that will have to do me.
Yes, indeed.
And I'll see you again.
Well, good luck against Dylan.
Thank you.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much, sir. So thanks to Chippy for joining us on comms, and good luck to him in the Jason Owen Open. So nothing between these players still. 4 frames each. Neil's time for a dry break. I think it's going to have to go yellows. Screw him back into his bad ball, or one of his bad balls. He's got more than one. He's got the one up on the side rail, and now he's just tied up the black and yellow on the left-hand side. So, not straightforward at all. I say he's tied it up. It will go into that left middle if he lands on it, but sorry, this was Tom's dry break. I apologise. What I was thinking there. So I was fooled into thinking it was Neil. I think he's going to have to play the yellow on the right hand side as a double. Huh? Sorry, finally catching up with the chat box. And yes, I am old and I am tired. I'm very confused. long day. Started at 9 o'clock this morning. Action all day. He did play that as a double. And really has opened the frame up. Whoa. After nailing that double. Yeah, you'll have to forgive us. It is blisteringly hot here today. I know the players are really struggling. Tom has been complaining about it all week. In fact, everyone has. It is absolutely sweltering. Don't know what it's like for the players in the arena, but just sat here even is just very, very uncomfortable. It's good snooker from Tom. Takes away any side cushion, so Neil only has the top cushion to go for, so it's going to have to be 2 to 3 cushion escape. It's definitely one you expect him to get out of, and does. Yeah, everyone's following the action better than I am today. It's totally confused at the start of this frame.
Okay, match is in the 9:30 session.
I've only had one beer as well.
Table 5, Shane Thompson, Eddie Barker. Shane Thompson,
Actually
Eddie
struggling
Barker,
to keep the
Eddie
headphones
Barker.
on because it's so hot. Makes your ears sweat. Oh.
On table 6, David Scott, Gareth Hibbert. David Scott, Gareth Hibbert. On table number 6. On table number 7, John Herridge, Kristen Disney. John Herridge, Kristen Disney, table number 7. On table number 8,
So Tom's going to need something special here. He's got an angle to get down. I mean, ideally he wants to be down in the bottom corner, but the red and black are in the way of that. So he's just looking. Somewhere on that side cushion, just above the black. Not a huge margin of error though. He's overrun it. And this frame is getting away from him. He's left a double. But that really doesn't doing too much in the way of favours. Very difficult to get the cue ball out from there. Can he? I don't think he can swerve around the black. I think he's kind of quarter ball snookered. I think it's not like it's just the edge of it. The double. He tried to come around the back of the red. As I say, kind of always chasing this finish slightly. Electing to play the deliberate foul, taking the pocket, making the black awkward, not leaving nil an opening shot, not an obvious opening shot. Good thinking, not quite, maybe got it. I was going to say not quite the execution he wanted. I think so. He was just trying to knock that yellow out and leave an angle to go across and get into the black. Just left a little bit more angle. May just be able to get across there with a pile of right hand side, but it's a lot thinner than he was trying to go.
On table 14,
From the overhead, I reckon he can, you know. Just load this up with right hand side and kick across into the black. Would have been much easier if it was just a fraction straighter. Good. How's his luck? I think he snookered himself. How unlucky is that? Wow. Big moments. He's quarter-final. Four frames each. Obviously extremely disappointed, but just needs to put that out of his mind and find something. Cushion first and try it somewhere up top, or cushion first to play the don't know. I think Tom's kind of 98 times out of 100. I'm going to pop this ball over the left pocket, and he only needs to drop it in. He's going to have the other red along the cushion. So, don't know. I think I'd have rather seen Neil go cushion first and try and get lucky up into the top corner somewhere. I think this is a bit of a forlorn hope. I mean, I guess one of the deciding factors for this that makes this shot a little bit more difficult is the red ball's actually halfway into the pocket, so he's only got half a ball as to aim at, so he doesn't. He's not forced into maybe not as quite as easy as I initially thought it was, looking at the way that red's buried into the pocket. Yeah, got it. Thought he would. As I say, it just seemed a bit of a forlorn hope for Neil playing that snooker. Was hoping for a mistake from Tom. Couldn't see one coming in reality. Scores from the Jason Owen Open, which is at round 3. Just coming towards the end of round 3. You see Sean Chipperfield just started up against Dylan Leary. He said he was off to play that game. Well, cue ball off the table, and that is quite key, because obviously in this rule set, in the pocket is 1 shot, but off the table is 2. So Neil with ball in hand and 2 visits, and hard to see how he makes a mistake. Hard to see how it doesn't get to 5 apiece. Now Raybone breaking off at 5 frames apiece. That was a tidy break. He really did time them well, but no joy. And unfortunately for him, they have gone very open. Yellows of the ball.
So we have 3 remaining games for the evening. Those 3 games can feature a player currently playing in different events. Obviously we'll get games on soon when those matches are finished. Please bear with us. Andy Davis, Danny Leeds, Mike King. The opponent is currently playing a different match, so we'll get it on as soon as possible.
Well, it's just making me look daft. I thought yellows were the ball, and the only reason I say yellow is because obviously the 2 reds in bulk are blocked to that pocket by the yellow that's nearest, but I guess that his plan is to... I can only assume that he's looking to play the red on the right-hand side off of the yellow to clear the pocket. But that's really threading the needle because there's not much of that ball to aim at. He's got the other yellow in the path of it. So he needs to just miss the first yellow and flick off the second one. Of course, got the option to go cushion first. You can play cushion first. Yeah, that's obviously what he's looking at. It's, I think it just increases the difficulty a little bit. Slightly harder to judge. It's not... It's that kind of distance away from the pocket where it's not an absolute gimme. Judge that well. And ultimately those... it's having that vision, that foresight, knowing, well, actually... reds aren't that bad because you've got that one ball over on the side. That's why he's Tom Cousins. Sees that immediately, just senses that danger and knows how to deal with it. I'm assuming he can get past the yellow to the potting angle of the red that's just below the yellow in bulk. If he can't, this is still quite a tricky finish. Because obviously those 2 balls on top of each other, so he mustn't be able to get through to there. He's played for the gap. Well, I don't think he played for, just kind of played to an area, I think, knowing that if he finds the gap, he's fine, but also if he cannons the yellow, he's going to be fine. Chances are if he cannons the red, he's going to be okay. But it's landed perfectly, finding the gap and just nudging the red. You can now just play that red using the yellow on the bulk line as a guide. Come down, just sit on top of that yellow. Yeah, well, he would have wanted to just kiss into it full ball. It's now got just the wrong angle. Still absolutely fine because he can just run on off the top cushion. Excuse. Again, I'm pretty sure the black ball passes to left middle, so well, again, you just see from the look on his face. It's another one of those. It's just the wrong angle. Needs to probably cannon into the yellow. And whenever you're cannoning a ball, it can go wrong. Yeah, it's fine. Just nudge it to one side. Left is black. Straight to left middle to retake the lead against the serve. And he is going to be breaking in the next frame, leading 6 frames to 5. He needs one more. And the next break is going to be huge for him. If he can make a ball and make the clearance, the match is his. If he goes dry or fouls, then who knows if he'll even get back to the table. Jack Whelan's still going strong in round 4 of the Jason Owen Open. So, big break. A big moment in the match. Crunch. Oh, he would have been willing that black ball to fall so he could have another go, because he is dry. And the big key in this frame is going to be that black. 2 yellows and a red over towards that side of the table. So neither ball set straight forward. Red's definitely the better option of the two. Looks like he's going to take yellows though. He thinks differently. Yeah, Paul's saying to me that he thinks yellows too. I don't know. I just feel given the proximity of the yellow that's closest to the black, I think that's the really tough ball. I think the red that's down in that area is easier to get out than the yellow is. I don't know where that yellow goes. I mean, he can clearly land on the one that's just above the yellow and the red together. He can land on that in a second, but it's what he does with that other one. overhit that a fraction, and I wonder if it was his plan to try and land with an angle to try and move that other yellow out, but yeah, you can see a bit of a wry look on his face. This, as I say, everyone sees it differently, and who am I to argue with Neil Raybone? But I don't know, just for me it just felt like the red was easier to develop. Don't see what he does with this yellow now. Just a little gap beside the yellow. Yeah, there you go. And force through. Does he have an angle? I think the answer is no straight away, but I'm just asking the question anyway. Does he have an angle on the red to middle that he can come off the side cushion into the back of the yellow and develop the red across the table? So I think I already answered the question. I think the natural angle pushes him towards the, yeah, he's going to hit the yellow that he's nearest to, so that isn't an option. Not sure if maybe that's the angle he was trying to leave, to come down and disturb that yellow and red. I don't think he's going to be potting another ball now. Just don't. I think he's going to have to run for cover. Trouble is, that's not obvious either. It's a decent effort. Kind of a two-way shot there, knowing he's going to push another yellow across into trouble near the black, but also just trying to maybe release the red at the same time. But, what it has done, putting another yellow there, it's bought himself possibly a little more time. The problem is, first opportunity, Neil can play a deliberate foul and just push one of the reds down over into this bottom corner, so there could be a fair bit of mileage left in this frame, to be honest. I think think Tom knows that as well. He may, knowing he's got that one frame cushion, I think he may want to push the boat out here. Just try and find something. No. Safety it is. But don't know, surely is Neil not pushing a red down into this corner? Looks like, I don't know, maybe my tactical knowledge of world rules is not that fresh, but just feels like one of the reds, I mean, the one that he was closest to, maybe push that down into the bottom corner and leave Tom touching the other red, so it wastes his first shot. And he can't get both of his reds out. So apologies for the delay. The players were just in with us for a second, so I had to just go on mute. They were asking whether that was a foul. They want to know whether it was cushion first, because obviously if it was cushion first, then nothing hit the rail afterwards. And I mean, we've gone back and watched it with the players about 10 times, and it's near impossible to call. I mean, you guys can look at it yourself. You can just rewind to that moment, and it is near impossible to call. That's really close. I think it's too close to call. Yeah.
For anyone completing their matches, if you could bring the tablet back to the top table, please, after the match, that would be fantastic.
So we've gotten a referee in to take a look at it, and so decision is that it was a foul, and I think what actually tells you that it's a foul is the yellow came away from the cushion. Had it been ball first, I think the ball just goes directly down the rail. But as it was, because it comes away, it's easy to see that it went cushion first and then kind of almost hits the back of the ball and comes away. But that was the official call that was made by the referee, and both players were more than happy and agreed that it was. So there we go. It's always good to use technology just to get the right decision. Tom questioned it. He was right to question it, and both the players agree. So there we are. Oh, that's actually, excuse me. Sorry, I'm having a coughing fit. This is very tricky, and again, one of those, probably, I mean, he'd love to be able to clear the table from here. I think that was a risk. That was a real risk. Did he need to play that cannon there? I mean, a little bit unfortunate, but that red was running, and there was always a risk that it could come down to this end of the table. And having just moved the ball out from exactly here, he's put one back in again. I don't know. I know he would have been desperate to win the frame of match at this visit, but did he need to push the boat out there and then? I think he's tried to play the red into the two yellows, so what he's trying to do is screw the ball back and play the cannon, but at the same time play the red off of the cushion into the two reds in bulk, split everything up, almost guaranteed to land on something. Obviously he missed the cannon, and the ball's come around into a horrible position, and albeit he still has an advantage in the frame, but oh wow. I can only assume that he was playing to cannon the red into the yellow that's over the pocket, and leave it somewhere adjacent to the middle or in the pocket. I mean, he definitely wasn't looking to put another red into this problem area. That's done Neil a massive favour. That's the kind of shot Neil would have been looking at. as I say, it was a big move from Tom. I guess he's backing himself, saying, "Look, I'm 6-5 ahead. I'm going to try and take my chance while I can. Don't want to get into this this big old safety battle, but I don't know if that was the right time to be pushing the boat. I just don't." And what he was doing with that second shot, pushing another red down here. Goodness. Sure, he must be absolutely fuming. Now he's got 2 balls he's got to try and get out of this area. Well, it's going to double another ball down it. He's put all 3 of his balls down into this bottom corner. And I think every time he was trying to cannon the red onto the yellow that's near the middle. Maybe he was trying to move the yellow down into the, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of lost. All reasoning's gone out the window. He's played 3 shots there that Neil would have been proud of. I don't know. Someone talk me through that. What's he doing, chat box? I think Tom's gone from probably being about a 1-3 favourite in this frame to I don't even know where he is now, and he's done it all to himself. And now, okay, and now he's going to slowly have to try and move the balls out again. Well, this frame could go on a while now. I mean, it was always in danger of doing so when that black went across to that corner pocket right at the outset. Always a danger of this happening. Dave thinks that he's going to try and plant a yellow on top of the black. Well, I mean, that black is hanging. I think any kind of contact on it, I mean, that would be a great shot and probably a Probably a frame winner too, but any contact on that black and that's dropping. Well, that's a clever shot. That's good. So Tom going to pump another one of these out. I can't wait to get in the interview room with Tom to, if he does win this match, to find out what was going through his mind on those shots. I think maybe he's just trying to challenge himself. Stick them all in there and see if he can get them back out again. Oh, cue ball, wow. That would have been a disaster had that gone in off. Actually, that's a very decent shot. Now, all the yellows are out. And two of those reds that Tom put down it still in trouble, which does make me wonder why he didn't try and get another one of them out on the last shot. Did try and just push one closer into the black, but it was tentative. But very fine margins. I mean, if that cue ball was an eighth of an inch to the right hand side, it drops into the middle pocket, and Tom is a big favourite to clear that table with two shots. Now, Neil is a big favourite. Tom looking to push another red closer to the black. I don't know. Anything's possible. Yeah. Oh my goodness, no. Oh my. What on earth. What a fantastic double. How unlucky was that? Oh my God. That's just crazy. How unfortunate was that? Played an absolute worldie. And the cue ball takes 2 kisses and goes into the middle pocket. And again, I spoke about the fine margins a second ago. I mean, Neil played a similar shot and almost went in off the middle. Tom plays a world. I mean, what a double. If he pulled that shot off, that was just the shot of the weekend. There's nothing that's beating that. That's just ridiculous. Oh, he's got the wrong angle. You can come back to that one, it's okay. But he was trying to get onto the one on the right-hand side, but he can't play it now. Oh, can he? No, he must be able to nip it back. He's, yeah, clever, just setting it up, of course. Just didn't need to risk anything. Playing it around the table, clever little setup shot. So that really was an intriguing frame. I know sometimes those fudge fests can be a bit boring, but I really enjoyed that. That was you just didn't know where it was going to go, and I don't know what was going through Tom's mind on some of those. That was crazy. So 6 frames apiece. It's going to go to a decider, but both players quickly heading off for a bathroom break. So we'll do the same thing. We'll be back with the action as soon as they are. Just give us a couple minutes. And it comes down to this, 6 frames each. Neil Raybone with the break in the 13th frame. Here we go. Makes a ball, and the white ball goes in off. Oh, what a disaster. He will be absolutely mortified. Having done all that hard work in the last frame, and cue ball straight in off, and yeah, I just look back at the replay because it was from a bit of a distance I couldn't quite see, but yeah, the cue ball straight in off. He'd risked doing that a couple of times, just not timing it quite correctly. Ignore the score that's on the screen. That just is because the players haven't moved it on. Neil hasn't put up his last frame. It is 6 frames each. This is the decider. Oh, there you go. You can see Neil just running across and changing that score. And you'll see that change on the scoreboard momentarily. There you go. It is all controlled by the players. The feed is taken directly from Q Score. Technology is fabulous today, nowadays. So, here we are. This quarter-final game. While we wait for Tom to make his move, let's have a quick look so we know that Craig Lakin is awaiting in the semi-final. He will play the winner of Stevie Dempsey or Sean Story. Stevie Dempsey currently 5-3 up over Sean Story. Ben Flack is the other semi-finalist, and he will play the winner of this game. So that looks likely to be Tom Cousins right now, but can he hold it together to make this clearance? All about the cue ball. You'd think it should be straightforward, but they rarely are. This is about as simple as it does get, though. It's just the traffic around the black, which would be the only concern. You can just float the cue ball down, leaving just slight angle on this red to middle, just a little stun shot. You could just play it, just drop it in, and yeah, it was all about whether he wanted to play down the table and find the gap between the two yellows, or play up the table. Up the table is a lot safer, but it is a fiddly little thin cut into middle. Just have a look at this from the overhead. You can see, there you go, it's okay, isn't it? It's missable for me, but not for Tom. There we go. What a game, what a match. And Tom Cousins it is that goes through. Neil Raybone will be bitterly disappointed after fighting back to 6 frames each, and that was nip and tuck all the way. Goodness me, what a great game that was. For Neil to go in off on that last frame, he'll be absolutely gutted. But it's Tom Cousins who makes his way through to the semi-final. We'll go and have a chat with him over in the interview room momentarily.
Let's go, baby!
Challenges don't come much tougher than Neil Raybone, and he really put up a strong performance there, Tom. That looked tough out there.
That was tough. That was very tough, to be fair. The table caught me out a couple of times. It's just so hot in there, and obviously Neil's a great player, and I'm just glad to get over the line, to be honest, Nick.
He just kept coming back at you, didn't he? And Tom, you got to talk me through the tactical frame, mate. I mean, I'm trying to commentate on it. I don't know what's going on, because you played 3 shots there that Neil would have been proud of.
Yeah, I know.
You had all your reds out and stuck them all down in that bottom corner where the black was.
Yeah, I did feel I was a bit, I screwed off. I had 2 shots. I screwed off the side rail and put the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Tried to cannon the 2 at the top. And
Yeah.
I'd have a finish, and it's missed them and gone straight down by the black. And I thought, oh, here we go. And then I tried to play a clever shot, push his ball down there, and I ended up missing it and pushed mine down there.
and then did it again. Put another one down there.
Yeah. I just.
And then had to spend your time trying to get him back out again.
Yeah, I just like the siders, Nick. That's what it is, mate. Yeah.
I mean, you had to be happy when he's gone in off there. It's unfortunate for him, but I mean, it's a horrible way for him to lose the match. But happy days for you, eh?
Yeah, it was. They looked probably pretty easy, to be fair, but because I had to have the white nicely just for like the 2 balls by the black, I thought, this could go wrong, but luckily I managed to get them.
Mate, all this talk of the gym, I mean, you're not going to need to go. You're sweating so much.
I know. Yeah,
putting in so much work in the arena. You probably lost a stone since you've been here today.
Yeah, I won't bother with the gym now. I just.
Mate, good luck in your semi-final.
Yeah, cheers, Nick.
We'll keep meeting here.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, a couple more. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Cheers, Tom.
Yeah, cheers, Nick. Mate. Thank you.
Cheers.